Good evening. A warm welcome to each one of you. If you have ever stepped into a Brahmakumari center in the past, you'll always hear the words Om Shanti over and over again. And you just had the chance to watch the entire video about the Brahmakumaris. And in that, it was mentioned that it's important for us to know who we truly are. So, who are we? Om Shanti reminds us of our true identity, that we are indeed peaceful beings. It's a way to reaffirm for ourselves that we are peaceful, so is everyone on this planet. We are all children of one God, we are all peaceful beings. So let's start by taking a moment to experience peace as you say Om Shanti to yourself, not necessarily to say it out loud, but in your mind, just hold the thought Om Shanti and see if you can create peace in your heart. This is what we do on a regular basis because when we create peace within ourselves, there is a spillover effect, and then this peace spreads around us. Eventually, our homes become peaceful, our neighborhoods become peaceful, and then eventually, the whole world will become peaceful. So, at the outset, I want to start by thanking God, the universe, for creating this beautiful space where all of us can come together and practice meditation, experience peace, understand the dynamics of life which we study every day, and to be able to bring our best version forward. So thank you, God, again. I also want to thank all the regular students of the Brahma Kumaris who are actually sitting right now in this audience. Without them, these events wouldn't be possible. Everyone's cumulative energy, everyone's contribution helps in creating this space into what it is right now. And I also want to thank each one of you for coming because these small changes that each one of you can bring in your life today can help all of us in creating the beautiful world that we want to create. The whole motto of Brahma Kumaris, the whole goal of Brahma Kumaris is to create a peaceful world, changing one person at a time. When the critical mass, the critical number of good people get created on this planet, this whole world will become the most amazing place for all of us to live in. So today we are going to explore forgiveness, the art and science of forgiveness. I inspire all of you to open your heart and your mind to new learnings, new understandings. I was sharing this earlier in one of our advanced classes. There is a Latin phrase that I really love, and I have used that as my way of life, and that is tabula rasa. Some of you have heard that, tabula rasa. No. Tabula rasa simply means clean slate. So, oftentimes we carry a lot of baggage of the past, which of course through this session, my hope is that we will be able to put it aside, put it behind us. But also we have learned so much, we have read so much, and oftentimes it creates a conflict in our new learning. The practice that I do, and Kanishka does too, is every night when I go to sleep, I feel as if that version of me is dead and a brand new version is being born the next day who doesn't know anything. So, with that childlike innocence, the childlike exuberance, I like to take on every day. What am I going to learn today? What am I going to understand today? What will be the new realization for me today? So I inspire all of you to hold that attitude as you listen to this and as you experience the very nature of human existence, which is actually to forgive. All right. So now I'll request Kanishta to come up because Kanishta is going to take the initial part of the presentation. And
Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Now you know the meaning of this word Om Shanti, right? Yes? Om means I am, and Shanti means peace. So it's a beautiful way to remind ourselves that I am peace. The more we remember that I am peace, the more we become peaceful in our lives, right? Because we all want peace in our lives. Is there anyone who want anger in life? No, right? We all look forward to experience peace. And this is why, in Raj Yoga meditation practice, in Brahma Kumaris, when we meet with each other, we greet by saying this phrase, instead of saying hello, hi, we say Om Shanti. So that way, not only we remember that I am peace, but we also remind others that you too are a peaceful being. So it's a beautiful way to exchange this energy of peace. And it's not just about speaking, but it's about feeling. So today's topic is the art and science of forgiveness. In this 2-hour session, you all are going to become artists and also scientists. You will learn how to be forgiving. So we will be covering in this session what, why, and how of forgiveness. So starting with this word, forgiveness. If we look at this word itself is self-explanatory. If we break it into two, for and give. So why we are here in this world? We all are here in this world for giving. But what do we see here in today's world? Everyone is taking. Everyone is wanting, right? But that is not our natural nature. We all are here in this world. The purpose of each one of us here in this world is to give. But what to give, how to give, whom to give, all these things we will talk about in this session. So we'll start off with few definitions that have been given in the literature. What is forgiveness? Forgiveness is about moving on from upsetting memories and then focus on something better, more important, more rewarding, more empowering in the present. This is very important. The practice of forgiveness actually enables us to stay in the present moment and not dwelling in the past. The second definition, forgiveness is the conscious, deliberate decision to release. That means to let go of all the past negative emotions that we have been holding on to because of maybe some traumatic experience or whatever. So letting go of the feelings of resentment or vengeance towards a person or group who has harmed you, regardless of whether they actually deserve your forgiveness or not. So you don't have to judge whether this person really deserves forgiveness or not. That doesn't come in the definition of forgiveness. The next one is forgiveness is about experiencing peace and understanding that comes from lessening the blame of that which has hurt you. Everyone in today's world know this game of blaming each other, right? Blame game, everyone is expert in this game. So when we are practicing forgiveness, then there is no blame. We don't blame anyone. Taking your life experience less personally and seeing the cost of holding a grudge. Then there are two types of forgiveness that has been mentioned. The first one is decisional forgiveness. It is about making this firm decision that I'm no longer going to resist forgiving the offender, forgiving the person who has offended me. And the second type is the emotional forgiveness. Emotional forgiveness is the replacement of negative, unforgiving emotions like emotions of anger, hurt, resentment, bitterness. So replacing those negative emotions with positive emotions of love, compassion, empathy, sweetness. So that is emotional forgiveness. So what is not forgiveness? Also it's important to understand. It's not about what is forgiveness, but what is not forgiveness. So not forgiveness, forgiveness is not about choosing to stay in an unhealthy, toxic environment. You have to assess the situation. It's not about that you are just tolerating and you are maintaining some kind of abusive relationships. That is not forgiveness. It's not about condoning bad behavior. Means giving approval to someone who is doing wrong things. It's not about that. And thirdly, it's not about denying the other person's responsibility. So there are many benefits of forgiveness. So I talked about what is forgiveness and now why forgiveness. Why forgiveness is important? Because there are many physical and mental health benefits that even scientists have talked about. And what are those? When you forgive, then you will see that your relationships will become more and more harmonious and healthy. You will see that mentally you will be very peaceful, you will have less of anxiety, stress, hostility in your life, and then your blood pressure, your heart rate, everything will come down. You will not have any symptoms of depression, and your immune system will also become very strong and healthy. And I think 2 points will be left. You will have more, you will see that your heart health will also improve, and you will get this sense of high self-esteem when you practice forgiveness regularly. Then research studies have shown, these are some of the things that researchers have pointed out, that forgiveness helps to reduce anger-induced myocardial ischemia. Ischemia means when there is less blood circulation in the heart. Myocardium is the heart muscles. So when the heart muscles don't receive enough blood, the lack of blood supply of heart is called as ischemia. So that happens when someone is filled with a lot of anger emotions of anger. So when the person starts to forgive, then it reduces anger-induced myocardial ischemia in patients with coronary heart disease. And then forgiveness has also been shown to help with people who go through addictions, obesity, mental health circumstances like anxiety, depression, all of that, COPD and cirrhosis. And in fibromyalgia, fibromyalgia is a health condition where a person has pain in many different parts of the body. So when the person does not forgive, then there is a lot of pain, and that pain is because of the unhealthy emotions that the person creates, because our mind and our body both are connected very closely. So whatever happens in the mind, it impacts the physical body. If we generate negative emotions, so those negative emotions, they cause a lot of damage in our body. So when the person started forgiving, then the researchers, what they found that People with fibromyalgia, their pain level reduced quite a bit. And then forgiveness intervention also helped in protecting against depression in adolescents, and they were able to manage their anger properly. This is also an effective way to improve the positive mental strength of adolescents with high levels of trait anger. How many teenagers are here in this session? Any teenager? No?
You're all teenagers.
But everyone has the experience of anger. So what happens when you experience anger, the emotions of anger? How do you feel? Do you feel good? No, you don't want to feel. You don't want to hold on to the emotions of anger. Even the most angry person, we will express the anger a lot, and then after that, you'll say, let me experience some peace. Right? So what does that mean? That our natural nature is not that of becoming angry, but our natural nature is peace. So we all yearn to experience that peace. Okay? And this intervention has also been seen, that in cancer survivors, they had a lot of issues related to forgiveness because they were not able to forgive, someone in their lives. They had to go through this life-threatening illness of cancer. Okay, next is, so forgiveness, when you are forgiving, then you are not holding on to the anger and resentment, because if someone is not forgiving, then what happens? It's like holding on to resentment and hatred, and it is as if you are holding burning coal in your hand. So who is the one who is going to experience the most heat from that coal? The person himself or herself, right? So holding on to this resentment is not going to help, not going to serve the person in any way. And then the person is ready to throw that burning coal to someone against whom the person has lot of anger, lot of hatred. But in that process of throwing, the person himself is actually burning and burning and burning. So it's not going to serve. Yes. So now let's understand a little bit about the science of forgiveness. How, when we hold on to resentment, what happens at the level of our minds and at the level of our body. So when we are holding on to resentment, what does that mean? That we are living in the past. We are thinking about the same situation over and over and over. So it is as if we are watching the same movie. We are repeating the same story. So it is as if we are reliving the same experience. What it means, we are generating the negative emotions over and over and over. That incident happened, but we are still living in that. Those, we are still holding on to those emotions. So when that happens, what we are doing, there is this happiness meter inside our brain. So when we are holding on to the negative emotions, there is a part in the brain that is called as amygdala, that processes emotions. So when we are in this negative mode, then that amygdala, the part of that brain, it sends the signal to the nervous system, and then the nervous system releases certain chemicals that are very damaging to the entire body. So now it's in our hands whether we want to release those harmful chemicals. If those harmful chemicals are released, where will the meter go? Meter will go towards the miserable side, towards the left side, and we will be experiencing that negative energy. So not only we feel very bad we feel very low, but people around us, they will also start feeling those that low energy. So we are not serving ourselves and we are not serving anyone else. On the other hand, if we learn the art of forgiving the self and forgiving others, then what kind of emotions then we generate? We start to learn how to live in the present moment, right? Generating positive emotions, what does that mean? That we are not holding on to the past. We forgive and forget, and we start living in the present, and we start embracing every moment, and we learn the art of if you let go of all these negative emotions, we create space inside. We are giving ourselves this opportunity to fill ourselves with positive emotions. So we start generating the emotions of love, emotions of empathy, emotions of compassion. So our happiness meter will then go towards the right side. So this is how we have this choice whether we want to keep our happiness meter on the left side or on the right side. The control is with us. So forgiveness is our choice, because forgiveness is like a key to freedom, experience freedom. Just like you see here birds, how they are so happy the moment they are released from this cage. They are experiencing this freedom. And this quote, I love this quote, someone said, forgiveness is to set a prisoner free and to discover that prisoner was you. It is said that when Nelson Mandela was being released from the jail, from the physical jail, he had this thought that I am getting released from the physical jail, so they are doing the job, but I have to release myself from this internal jail. If I hold on to resentment, I hold on to anger, what these people did to me, that then even though I am being released from the physical jail, I will be still imprisoned. So he made this firm decision that I have to release myself from this jail of negativity. And this is how, when he became more and more forgiving, he was able to help not only himself, but the entire nation. Right? So forgiveness is our choice, and forgiveness is our inner power. We all have this power, but we need to develop this power. But we can develop this power only with awareness and with practice. So now, Shwetank is going to explain about the levels of forgiveness. Yes, over to you, Shwetank.
All right. So yeah, that was very good. We learned about what is forgiveness. We understood why it's important to forgive. I also like this wonderful way of looking at it, as someone has described, that not forgiving or holding resentment is like drinking poison and hoping that the other person would die. Yeah, it doesn't work like that. So we are harming ourselves really. But still, it's not that easy to forgive, right? So let's break this down into, how we need to work through this process of forgiveness. So let's understand what are the levels of forgiveness that exist. So one way of organizing this is on the basis of how long we take to forgive. So level one would be taking a whole lifetime. Yes. I cannot forgive this person in this lifetime. Okay? Some people say that. You've heard this.
Maybe that is level 0, right?
Maybe level 0. Yeah. And then at the end of the line, they say, yes, now I'm ready to forgive. That would be level 1 then. Level 2, if they take years, months, a long time. Level 3 would be to forgive in a short period of time, days, or even hours. What do you think would be level 4? Immediately, in real time, as it is happening. Excellent. So I'll give you all a minute or even less than a minute to reflect on where do you see yourself on a regular basis. My sincere hope is that no one is at level 1 or level 2. Level 3 is reasonable, but with the practice of Raja Yoga meditation that we do, you can reach level 4 actually, that you can forgive in real time. You don't have to share your answer, but this is just for you to reflect on. Now let's go to another way of classifying it. Levels of forgiveness based on how we forgive. The first would be forgive only after the person has apologized many, many times. Right? You've got to say sorry like 200,000 times. Right. Second, level 2, forgive as soon as the person says sorry. Well, you have to at least say sorry once, right? Many times we say that. Level 3, forgive the person even before he or she apologizes. Their apology is not even necessary. Level 4. Oh, wait. I don't want to tell you the answer. Screen is freezing on me. Alright, what do you think level 4 is? Those of you who were not too quick in looking. I know the kids are very quick.
You don't even expect the forgiveness.
Very good. Yes. That forgiveness is not even a question. I know these might sound theoretical for now, but we'll get to it. So far, so good.
So I think the first two are like conditional forgiveness.
Conditional.
You are putting the condition, or transactional forgiveness.
I'll get
The
to that in a
transaction.
moment, I guess. Where did that go? Where did that slide go? Okay. All right. So maybe, yeah. So yes, conditional, yeah.
Conditional, and the level 3 and 4, they are unconditional.
Yeah, unconditional forgiveness. So again, I give you a few seconds to see where you would see yourself. Hopefully not level 1 and level 2. Level 3, level 4. See, the higher the level, who benefits with that? Us, ourselves. All right. Now, the next, and there's another. Yes, there's level 5. Ooh. What do you think level 5 is? What can be more than not even thinking that forgiveness is necessary?
Not feeling hurt, you can't hurt me.
Oh, very good. Yes.
Thick skin.
What's that?
Thick skin.
Thick skin.
Keep loving.
Yes, keep loving. Very nice. So that brings about transformation in the person who has done the wrong. You're able to generate so much of positive energy that the person who has done wrong actually gets transformed. And in Raja Yoga meditation, we call it as the lighthouse stage. There's a word that we use oftentimes, the sakash. Sakash is prakash, that is light, with power. Shakti. So Shakti so these two words, Shakti and light, together will make Sakash. That when we become so illuminated that our energy then compels the other person to change as well. Alright. So do you feel that you would like to be at level 5? How many would like to be at level 5? Yeah, good. Yes, very nice.
Everyone, entire hall, yes.
Sakash. So in a way, I like to call level 5 forgiveness is forgiveness with a bang. Alright. Now, this is what we created when we were trying to write about this, which we never ended up finishing. But we wanted to call this as the healing triangle of forgiveness. Forgiveness that is quick, that is in real time, you remember, level 4. That is spontaneous, that needs no one or the other person to have to come and say sorry. If they say sorry, that's a bonus, but you don't need it. And it needs to be complete. Sometimes we feel, I'm going to forgive this person for this, and this, but I can't forgive the person for this, and this. There are certain things that we feel that are unpardonable. But anything that we hold on to is going to damage whom? Us. So spontaneity, immediate, real-time healing or transformation of forgiveness and complete forgiveness. Kanishka, you want to say something?
And not like, complete means not partially, not like half-heartedly, but forgiveness should come from your heart. That yes, I truly, truly forgive you.
Thank you. All right. So now let's look at the steps to cultivate forgiveness. Do you want to take this forward? The first one.
Yes, so how to forgive? So this is a very important step that we need to cultivate, because see, if we want to bring about transformation, if we want to bring about a change in our lives, then checking is very important. If we don't check, we can't change.
In other words, introspection, reflecting, looking at ourselves, what is going on, what's not going on. That's also true.
So observing the self. So the first step is you need to see what is my level of forgiveness. Where am I? And then how do I feel holding on to the grudges or resentment within? What is the feeling that comes to me?
Does it feel good?
No.
It feels uncomfortable. Right? There's heaviness on the chest and the head also.
And then, why am I here in this world? What is my purpose? Am I here to experience sadness or happiness?
Everybody agrees? Happiness. Correct.
So am I here to express? So whatever I experience, that is what we express, right? So if I experience happiness, that is what I share. If I experience sadness, that's what I share. So why am I here? Am I here to express and share positive or negative energy with others?
Positive.
And how are these present feelings? If I am holding on to resentment, grudges, then how are these feelings serving me in my growth? Am I growing? Can we grow when we hold on to the negativity?
We'll stagnate. In fact, we'll begin to wilt.
Yeah, and we actually move backwards. Yes.
Where you started, self-awareness, introspect is more important. So apart from forgiveness, that is also important for your own action as well. So if you introspect for your own action, you won't get to a point where you have to ask for the forgiveness.
Yeah, so true.
That's true. You will be careful, no? It is like being cautious.
Very good. Very good. All right. Change, transformation.
So the question is, now you have checked, but what are the steps so that you bring about the transformation in yourself? So where to start? There's so much to change, right? So the change actually depends upon our response. The situation happens, the event has happened, but how am I responding to that event? And my response depends upon how I perceive the situation. So if we perceive the situation in a positive way, then our response will be positive. But if we perceive the situation in a negative way, oh, this person always commits mistakes, this person is always like this, then we create negativity. Now the question is, how to change our perception? See, because if we change our perception, then we change our feelings, we change our emotions. But the question is, how do we change our perception? And we can change our perception only when we change our focus. And how can we change our focus? What is the basis of changing our focus? The basis of changing our focus is seeing every situation using the lens of, you see the lens? We have to use a very different lens. And what is that lens? That lens is the lens of true wisdom, true knowledge. And a very important understanding that we all know, but we never focus on is that to err is human. Everyone here in this world commits mistakes. So to err is human, there is a saying, to err is human, and to accept is superhuman. Divine is something else. Before you forgive, you have to accept. Right? So to accept is superhuman and to forgive is divine. So if we understand this, we will be able to change our perception. And we have to change our focus from usually what we focus on? Negative, and also what the person is doing. See how the person behaved with me, how the person acted. So we focus on the doing, human doing. But what should be the focus? The focus should be on human being, the being part. That should be the focus. Because the being is every being on this planet is inherently very pure, very divine, very clean. Maybe under the influence of something, that person did not behave in the right way at that moment. But if we continue to focus on the doing, then we will continue to generate the same emotions, negative emotions. But if we shift our focus from the doing to the being that the person is, and that is what we learn here in the practice of Raj Yoga meditation, shifting our consciousness from doing to the being. That means seeing everyone as a soul, as a child of God. Everyone commits mistakes. So then I should forgive. Just like God forgives us, right? We keep committing so many mistakes. But God never punishes us. God always gives us love and love and love. So we are children of God, so we should also be like Him. Never hold on to what the person did to me, but see, if we change our focus, if we change our consciousness, then instead of generating the feelings of, the emotions of anger, hatred, all of that, what type of feelings we start to generate? The feelings of love, feelings of mercy. This person does not know what he's doing or she's doing. So this is where the shift happens, the transformation happens. Our feelings will change from the feeling of bitterness to the feeling of sweetness, feeling of sadness to the feeling of sweetness. This is how the transformation will happen. So what is the foundation? What is the basis of our transformation? Change in our consciousness, what we call here as soul consciousness. And we talk about this more in the course that we provide, in Raj Yoga meditation course that we provide. We talk a lot about soul consciousness. Yes. Shwetangi is going to share with you a beautiful story.
So, it's about to die. Let's see, hopefully it will work for a little bit. So this is the story of Buddha. So one time there was a man who was pretty abusive to Buddha. So Buddha was going about his ways, he was going out to beg for alms, just like all Buddhist monks would. And this man, he didn't recognize Buddha, so he was pretty belligerent with it. And Buddha didn't do anything, he didn't react, he just walked away, went about his business. Later there was another guy who was watching this man be so abusive, and Buddha said, hey, he didn't recognize this was Buddha himself, the enlightened one. How could you do that? So the next day, the man, he felt really bad about himself. So he said, let me go and ask for forgiveness. So he went, searched for Buddha. Buddha was sitting under a tree. He said, oh, Buddha, please forgive me for what I did. And so Buddha said, what happened? What happened? Said, oh, I was very abusive to you yesterday. Said, I don't know yesterday. What is yesterday? See? So this is the role of forgetting and forgiving. If we live in the present moment, past is gone. Is there anyone here who has ever gone into the past? You can't. I mean, you go in your mind, but you can't really go. Past really doesn't exist. What exists is this present moment, this tiny sliver of time between the past and the future. How thick is this present moment? We don't know. This is a question that we still trying to grapple with. So this present moment is where you can be, and then all your woes will be gone. Past is gone. If there's no past, then nothing really happened. And this is a practice that we do in Raj Yoga that I was talking about earlier in the beginning, that for a moment think that every day is a new beginning. You're going to sleep, that version of yours is gone. A brand new version is going to wake up and be alive and do what needs to be done. You know, you've heard probably of this very famous quote by the Greek philosopher Heraclitus, who said, no man steps into the same river twice, for it is not the same river, and it is not the same man. Every moment we are transforming, we are evolving, the universe is evolving, everybody is evolving. That person did that yesterday, that person was ignorant yesterday, maybe that person is no longer ignorant today. So we re-engage with the world, with humanity, with everything around us, with that fresh energy. And that fresh energy actually becomes the catalyst for change that we want around us, even in the person who is doing that wrong. Oftentimes we create an attitude of being a victim. So what I hope, and I used to do that too many, many years back, but I realize that it does no good. It doesn't help me, it doesn't help the situation, it doesn't help anyone else on the planet. So it is important for us to come out of that victim consciousness and take charge of our lives. If we understand the law of karma as well, that whatever energy we hold within ourselves is the energy we attract from the universe in the form of situations. And these situations can come through human beings, through animals, through nature, and can come from within as well. And in any case, whatever situation comes our way is merely a messenger trying to tell us something important. So instead of looking at the message, trying to decipher the message, we try to shoot the messenger. It doesn't help. So forgiveness is understanding that whatever has transpired, whatever is transpiring, is for the larger good of humankind and for you as well. Every situation helps us grow, helps us evolve to a higher human being. So when somebody does something wrong to us, it's not that you're condoning again, it's not that you're condoning that person, it's not that you're not assigning responsibility for what that person is doing to you, but you're choosing to take that as something that will help you grow further. So in a way, it is like having gratitude for the person who has done wrong, in a way. That thank you. If you have done this wrong, great. Like there's another story where Buddha went somewhere for some sermons. He was trying to preach. There was one man who somehow was very upset with Buddha. So he made a sort of a garland of torn slippers and shoes. And so when Buddha was sitting, he went and put that garland of shoes around his neck. And so normally You would be upset? Anyone here who won't be upset? What did he say? I'm so glad that he at least gave me something. People don't give me anything. He at least gave me something. So you can look at the positive in everything. So I want to show this video. Yeah, so let's watch this together.
I'm going to slap you. And you will feel pain. But the first thing you will do is slap me back. Because you want to get revenge. You want what is fair. You want what is just. You want justice. I grew up in a place where justice is very important. I grew up in Israel and Palestine. And around me, many people are seeking justice. Justice for the murdered, justice for the kidnapped, justice for the stolen. And no one would rest, not them, not us, until justice is achieved. Relax, 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 relax. Just like Hollywood taught us, justice must always be served at the end of the movie. See, I don't really believe in Hollywood, and I don't really believe in justice. Because I have come to learn that forgiveness is a lot more powerful than justice. And forgiveness I learned from a woman that's very, very far away from me called Ernestine. Ernestine lives in Rwanda, and she is the most forgiving person I have ever met. She was a victim of the Rwandan genocide. A soldier attacked her with a machete, hand-tied her, and threw her into a river to die. Then he killed her entire family. And that soldier is this person. This is a sad story that makes anyone angry. And if I were Ernestine, I would come back, find that soldier, and I would kill him. I would try to get revenge for myself and for my family. I would try to get justice. But you know, that's not what she did. Instead of taking justice, she gave forgiveness to the soldier. 25 years later, they have become friends. And she's not the only one. In her country, Rwanda, 1 million people were killed. And when the genocide ended, the country decided to forgive all the killers. Because according to their president, sorry won't bring back any lives. Only forgiveness can heal this nation. Survivors, they said, must forgive because they're the only ones with something to give. And that story really moved me. 25 years later, Rwanda healed itself. It is now one of Africa's most successful nations. It is clean, it is safe, it is thriving. At the end of the day, each one of us is faced with injustice, and each one of us wants to slap back. But one thing my travels taught me is that justice doesn't exist in the real world. So instead of seeking justice, let us give forgiveness, because in reality, it's the only way forward.
Pretty deep. So far so good. We're going to change gears and now take another topic. And this is equally important actually. When Kanishka was talking about accepting the mistake, to err is human, to accept is superhuman. One is to accept the other person, but also to accept that we have made mistake. Oftentimes, we feel as if we are infallible. It is always the other person who makes mistake, right? Do you ever make mistake? It's very difficult to truly acknowledge that we have made mistakes. So one is forgiving someone who has made mistake. The other is learning the art of asking for forgiveness, apologizing as needed when we have made mistake. So now let's understand these levels. Again, we can classify this in three different ways. One is again, now this is going to be fun, based on how long we take to apologize. Level 1 would, why should I say sorry? Sorry shows that I'm weak. If I say sorry now, the other person will climb all over me. Right? That's what we say. That's what we think. Level 2, taking a long time, years, months, weeks. Level 3, taking a short time, days and hours. So what would be level 4? Immediately. To understand that we have made a mistake, and so asking for forgiveness in real time. Shall we take a moment to reflect?
Only you have the realization that you made. But sometimes we don't have that realization.
Correct. It's rare. But that's what Raj Yoga meditation does. It helps us spend time with ourselves. We create that protected time for ourselves. So it gives us the opportunity to examine ourselves and to be able to understand that we really made a mistake.
Yeah, I like to say that realization is the first step to transformation. Unless you realize, you won't be able to transform. So it's like same checking and realizing. And you can realize only when you use your real eyes. And you realize, what is your real eyes? The third eye of knowledge. And that's what, it gets opened up when you start practicing introspection, meditation. So then you start using your third eye to see everything in life, including yourself.
Alright, the next way of looking at it is based on how we forgive. Level 1 would be apologizing only when reminded, and that too with an attitude, grudgingly. Someone points out our mistake and then we do it grudgingly. Level 2 would be apologizing with some sincerity but only when reminded to do so. Level 3 would be apologizing spontaneously. Now we can come to the 6 steps, 6 R's for a meaningful and effective apology. We can save lots of relationships by the simple act of asking for forgiveness or apologizing. Oftentimes our apologies are so meaningless, so superficial. But how can we make this into a really effective apology? So the first step is remorse, regret. And we'll go deeper into each one of these. The second is the reason. Third, responsibility. Fourth, repentance. Fifth is repair. And sixth is request. So let's go into the first one. Kashi, you want to take this? Expressing regret for what has happened. You want to talk about this?
So the first step, like I said, that we have to regret. The moment we commit some kind of mistake, then this is an example. I truly wish I had thought first before seeing that nasty comment about your hair. So you are regretting. I feel so bad about having offended you or letting you down. I can't believe I broke your favorite coffee mug.
Yeah, these are some examples.
So you're regretting.
The next one. How about we have the kids speak?
Yes.
So giving explanation of where things went wrong. This is the second one. The reason. So yes, who's going to read? Kids, you going to read? No? You want to read? Yeah, go ahead.
I don't realize that you were
Sensitive about the issue. I didn't realize that you were sensitive about that issue.
I was under the impression you'd find it funny.
Good.
I think we should use the mic.
Yeah, but I think I can repeat it. I didn't realize that you were sensitive about that issue. I was under the impression that you would find it funny. Anyone else wants to try? All the kids? No? Any adults want to say? If you want to, then I can read it. I knew I was going to be late, so I misguidedly assumed that it was better not to show it all. These are just examples. Yeah? So at least you're giving some explanation, not justification. Many times we start justifying. I did this because of this and that, and you said this, that's why I said this, and you did this, and that's why I did this. You give your reason with respect.
But important thing is this is not the first step. Usually what happens, we commit some mistake and then immediately we start to say, this happened, that happened. So first is, oh no, you have to show that you're really sorry, regret, and then reason and explain.
Third is,
Third, you acknowledge that you take the responsibility, that yeah, I am the one who messed up. I was wrong about it. I owe you an apology. I should have been more careful when handling that ceramic cup. And then the next step is you repent.
some signal that you're not going to make, you're going to try your level best at least. Again, to err is human. You made the mistake once, you can always make it again. But at least there should be some degree of assurance for the other person that you're going to do your best not to repeat that mistake again. I'll think more before opening my mouth and be more mindful of your sensitivities. I'll arrive early next time and avoid making plans on days where my schedule stretches me too thin so that I don't end up canceling last minute, and so on and so forth. Making an offer to repair.
Yes. So you did something wrong. So now you do something so that you feel as if yes, you repaired it, you helped, in that process. So I would like to make it up to you by taking you out to dinner or helping you move. Or to make it up, I'll come to that to open mic. You need people in the audience for next weekend. Or I would like to buy you a new mug or pay you twice as much as you bought it for. Because I broke the mug. So it's mine now. It's my responsibility, right? You're trying to repair. Yes.
And then a sincere request for forgiveness. Would you forgive me for this? Do you think you can move forward and consider my mistake a blip in otherwise solid friendship or relationship? Things like that. So this brings us to the healing quadrangle of asking forgiveness. That asking for forgiveness, saying sorry, should be spontaneous. No one should need to remind us to say sorry. Quick, it should be quick. As much in real time as possible. It really should be genuine. Shouldn't be half-hearted. Shouldn't be just for the sake of formality. And we have learned the art of being creative as to how we can repair that situation. Right? Just like the example of breaking somebody's coffee mug. How can I buy a better coffee mug for you? What can I do to make it up to you? So then what Kanishta was talking about earlier, that God forgives us. God is the ocean of forgiveness. He is the ocean of all the positive energy that you can think of. So we are His children, each one of us. You are a child of God, we are children. Each one of us is a child of God. So when we connect to God, when we remember Him in our minds and our hearts, then we too can learn the art of forgiving others. Then our hearts also expand actually in a nice way. And we are able to look at others and understand their follies, respect them for what they are, understand where they're coming from, and so on and so forth, and just be able to forgive them. So let's take a few moments, right? Is this a good time? But I think there's also this to summarize. I think we can summarize and then go into the meditation. So,
Yes, so we will now summarize the entire session we talked about. So forgiveness is a healthy choice as it releases us from negative emotions. Both forgiving the self and others as well as asking for forgiveness are essential for complete healing. Forgiveness and asking for forgiveness should be quick, spontaneous, genuine, creative, and complete. Self-checking and self-transformation are the steps to cultivate forgiveness. Soulful awareness is a key to bring about a change in our perception, attitude, and feelings towards others. And connection with the Supreme enables us to fill ourselves with love, empathy, and compassion that are essential for the healing process.
Shall we go into meditation for a few minutes? Yes. I know there will be lots of questions. Our questions will never end. But I still inspire you for a little bit to let go of your questions. Just like Kanishna was talking about letting go of resentment. In a way, questions are also negative energy. So let go of all of them for a little bit. It is important for our own peace, for our own well-being, for our own healing, to forgive others. So I invite you to consider that this moment is the moment, the special moment, that you're sitting in the company of like-minded people in this sacred space bestowed upon us by God Himself. So for a little bit, forget the external world and all those different ideas that the society tries to teach us, and just go back to the essence of your existence, to the very truth of humankind, that we are souls, children of that one God. We are brothers and sisters, siblings. Each one of us has been created in the same image as God. So God is the ocean of positivity, the ocean of peace, the ocean of love, the ocean of forgiveness. And so are you. Just sit very still for a little bit. This is the time for you to heal. So be very still. You are your own doctor. You're here to diagnose your own problem, to understand that any resentment or negativity, if you hold within yourself, it's not going to do you any good. So feel as if you're letting go of all of those resentments, all of that negative energy. At the very next moment, you feel as if the door of the cage has opened. And with your wings, you're now able to fly. To express and experience your true potential. Forget about the rest of the world for a little bit. I know there will be questions brewing in your mind. What if they keep doing? What if they don't ask for forgiveness? The story is about you. The moment you hold on to any negativity, it only harms you. I like to sometimes see myself in the middle of a stream with the current flowing past. whatever I release from my hand will flow away. So see yourself holding on to your resentment and see it burning through your skin, your muscles, your tissue, in your hands. And now, in a flash of a moment, you release it. See the stream taking it on, taking it downstream, and you will never see it again. How lovely it feels. How healing is this experience. Let a wave of positive energy start to flow from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Thank God, thank the universe for giving you this insight to forgive and to ask for forgiveness as needed. Om Shanti. So now, what we have for you is for you to break into small groups. You discuss these questions amongst yourselves, and then we will finish it off with some takeaway messages, maybe a short meditation at the end. What I would like you to ponder upon or discuss in your small group is first, remind yourself of a time, a situation when you were able to forgive someone for something big that they had done to you. What thoughts helped you forgive? And how did that act of forgiveness make you feel? Share those success stories, right? And the second is remind yourself of a time, a situation when you were able to collect all the necessary ingredients to sincerely apologize, ask for forgiveness when you did something wrong. How did that make you feel? How did forgiving others make you feel? How did sincere asking for forgiveness made you feel? Sounds good? See, we are not here to fix others. This is a wonderful thing that we learned with Raj Yoga. We are here to fix ourselves. And again, the motto of the Brahma Kumaris, when we change, the world changes. So as you truly bring about that positive change in yourself, you automatically set the energy into motion for the other person to change as well. Now, it might not happen overnight. It might take years. When somebody goes to medical school, he doesn't become a doctor overnight. There are a few years that are required of rigorous practice. So oftentimes our practice of that forgiveness or seeing the person as good is also very limiting, very short-lived. So one moment we say, oh yes, I forgive you. The next moment we hold resentment too. So we are giving mixed energy to the person. So if you are trying to boil milk and every 5 minutes you put a cube of ice in it, that milk will never boil. So we have to check, are we truly creating positive energy for ourselves, for that other soul, on a consistent basis, patiently, for as long as it takes. You see, the universe has a law that there will always be a change. Change is the only constant thing in the universe. It has to change. And the only reason it's not changing is because of us. We are the only ones who are stopping that change from us. So don't try to calm anyone down is what we learned. We try to work on ourselves. As you become calm, the other person will be compelled to be calm as well. That's all. In a way, think of it for a moment, that when you create such intense positive energy that you can inundate the other person, you can incapacitate the other person, you can disarm the other person through your positivity. Just like an air conditioner, here, despite all of us, we are all emitting heat, yet the air conditioner is consistently working to make this space cool. You just work consistently to do the right thing. Eventually, the person will change. One quick thing I'll say, I know Sunita ji wants to say as well, just one quick thing. There was once somebody had given that example. If somebody says something hurtful to you in a language which you don't understand at all, anyone here who doesn't, who understands Thai language, let's say, for example, let's say someone here comes and says something very negative in that language to you. You wouldn't even know it. You would probably think that that person is giving you compliments. Thank you, oh, thank you. So that's how it is. It is not that person's words, it's how you interpret them, is what makes all the difference. Sorry.
No, like earlier when you were explaining that time, sometimes that patience we need to keep, like when you said, we also create doubt in the outcome. So that's why also there the energy is getting blocked and the transformation is not really happening.
True. Harisha, you wanted to say something. Very nice.
When you're talking about, the word is over there and, it's not coming to me, and that reminded me of the 2 words that I was sharing in the morning today, in our everyday spiritual message, that we have to be observers. We have to observe ourselves, but at the same time, we have to make sure that we don't absorb anything negative from the outside world. Just keep observing where I need to make a change, because that is what is going to make a difference. Like Shwetank said, when we change, then the world changes. But we have to have faith in that also. Keep this faith that yes, definitely, when I am going to change, everything around me is going to change.
And protect yourself. Don't have to put your hand in the snake's small hole. Don't have to climb onto a lion's back. If something is negative, if somebody is really negative, step away immediately. Protect yourself. You see, don't allow that person's negative energy to touch you, even if you can't leave that space physically. You can always block it there. So there are multiple things that you can do to save yourself. That is important. But at the same time, what can I do to transform that person? Through your positivity, you'll be able to transform the other person. Yes.
Om Shanti. I was not part of the groups over here because I was with the best group with the kids over there in the other room preparing this kit. But if I have the permission, I can add 2 points from my perspective. Point number 1 is, a study was done where it was shown that people who are terminally ill or on their deathbed, more than 85% of the people, what was going in their mind was asking for forgiveness before they die, or people coming to them and asking for forgiveness what they did in the past. So that was data point number 1. There was also, second point is, there was a video of a professor in a class, and he comes across and he holds his hand out and holding a glass of water in the hand. I'm not sure if some of you have seen that. So he said, how much is this water or the glass weighing? And people said 8 ounce, 12 ounce, 16 ounce, whatever. And said, how long can I hold it? He says, it is not important how much is the weight of the glass. What is important, how long I hold on to this. If I keep holding this glass for an hour, my arm will start aching. If I hold it for, let's say, 6-8 hours, my hand will start going numb. And the same logic applies to this whole forgiveness thing. If we carry a baggage in ourselves, we're waiting to be terminally ill or on a deathbed, and then we're trying to forgive people, or people are coming to us for asking for forgiveness. So it applies to us also, that we don't need to wait for somebody to be on the deathbed to go and ask for forgiveness. So your point, which you were mentioning earlier on the slide, the time you take to forgive somebody or ask for forgiveness is such a critical thing. And the baggage, if we keep carrying, is ultimately going to harm us fully with that negative energy.
And Good.
Om Shanti.
So everybody got the message? Loud and clear. So can we just conclude with a minute or so of silence? Take us through meditation. I can play some gentle music for us.
So everyone relax your body. Sit straight. All children, please sit straight. Take a deep breath and relax. And as your body relaxes, very gently go within and observe yourself with this awareness that I am a being of light. Connect with this reality. Use your real eyes of wisdom to connect with the truth. You are not what you see with your physical eyes, but you are what you cannot see, a being of light. And this light is filled with the energy of love, energy of compassion, energy of sweetness. Now that you are not holding on to any resentment, after listening to this session on forgiveness, you have created a space within where you can generate the positive emotions of love and compassion for yourself and for everyone else. In this inner space of silence, feel as if God's light is entering, the light that is filled with love, unconditional love. Take this moment to absorb God's light and feel the lightness, the love, and the pure and sweet energy of God. Absorb and experience this energy. And now see yourself expressing this energy when you go out into the world, outside world. You are sharing only love, giving only love, nothing but love, love upon love, to everyone. Om Shanti.